Have you ever just stared at a blank page, completely frozen, wondering how to even start an academic paper? Yeah, we've all been there. But what if I told you that academic writing isn't some kind of mysterious, unlearnable art? What if it's more like a system, a code that you can actually learn to crack? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. Because getting this right isn't just about passing a class, it's about finding your voice and making your mark.
This question from a real graduate student just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's not just about grammar or citations. The real anxiety is about your place in all of this. How do you sound like you belong? How do you contribute to the conversation without sounding, out of your depth? That question is exactly what we're here to answer.
So, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll tackle the big graduate writing problem. Then we'll get into the foundations, audience, purpose, and strategy. After that, we'll dive into mastering the style and creating a seamless flow. And finally, we'll talk about the real goal of all this, positioning yourself in your field.
All right, first up, the graduate writing problem. And I really want you to hear that subtitle. It is not just you.
This right here is the root of so much frustration. You've probably experienced it. One professor tells you to be more direct, while another says your writing needs to be more sophisticated. One person says never use I, another one encourages it. You end up with all this advice that's vague, contradictory, and honestly, a lot of the time is just someone's personal taste. So of course we feel like we're just guessing. But there's a better way.
So let's build that better way. Section 2 is all about the foundation. Thinking about your audience, your purpose, and your strategy before you even write a single word.
Everything changes once you answer this one question. Who are you writing for? Are you trying to teach a total newcomer the basics, or are you trying to show a group of experts that you know your stuff? For most of us in graduate school, it's almost always the second one. Your goal isn't just to share facts, it's to signal that you are a competent, intelligent member of that specific academic community. Once you get that, your whole approach to writing shifts.
And to see just how much purpose affects structure, think about something as simple as writing a letter. If you have good news, you got the job, you lead with it, right? But if you have bad news, you don't. You kind of soften the blow, you prepare the reader, then you deliver the news. The purpose directly controls the organization. Academic writing is exactly the same. Your goal determines your structure.
Okay, Section 3. Let's get into the mechanics of it all, starting with how to master that academic style.
Now here is an incredibly practical tip. Sounding academic isn't about swallowing a thesaurus and using the biggest words you can find. A lot of the time, it's about making a really specific choice called the vocabulary shift. This is a tangible skill you can start using immediately.
Check out these examples. In everyday conversation, we'd say we look into a problem. In an academic paper, you'd write that you investigate it. You don't figure out a solution, you determine it. You see the pattern? It's a move away from those common multi-word verbs to more formal single verbs. It's subtle, but it makes a huge difference. And it goes beyond just verbs. Instead of saying there was a lot of interest, you could write there was considerable interest. Instead of nice results, which is super vague, you could have robust results. Every one of these choices sends a signal to your reader that you understand the formal conventions of their world.
So, what are the underlying rules here? Well, it really boils down to 3 key things in U.S. academic English. 1. Writer responsibility. It's on you to be clear. 2. Formality. Avoid slang and super casual chat. And 3. Explicitness. You have to clearly show the reader how your ideas connect, using linking words and phrases.
Which brings us perfectly to the second part of the mechanics, creating that seamless, logical flow between your ideas.
Okay, if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. This is the secret sauce for clear writing. It's called the old to new principle. The idea is simple. You start your sentences with information the reader already knows, the old stuff, and you end your sentence by introducing the new information. It creates this amazing logical chain that pulls your reader right through your text. Let's look at it in action. The first sentence ends by giving us the concept of understanding the differences. That's now old information. So the very next sentence starts with it, this understanding, and then connects it to a new idea. It's like building a little bridge from the end of one sentence to the beginning of the next. It makes your writing flow beautifully.
All right,
Section 5. We've talked strategy, we've talked style, we've talked flow, but so what? Why does all this work matter? Well, this is the payoff. This is the whole point.
All of these techniques, all of these choices, they all serve one ultimate goal: positioning. You see, you're not just writing a paper to get a grade. You are using the established conventions of your field to introduce yourself to that community. You're showing them that you are a knowledgeable, credible, junior member of that field. You're positioning yourself as a colleague.
And this is the path. It all connects. You analyze your audience to figure out your purpose. That purpose dictates your organization. And then you use style and flow to execute it perfectly. These aren't just random skills on a checklist. They are the steps that lead you directly to the goal: successful position.
So here's a final look at what helps you do that. Some of this is about writing, like using a formal style and citing your sources. But look at the other stuff: being cautious with your claims, showing you know the big debates in your field, and even being brave enough to reevaluate the work of big-name authorities. That's what it really means to join the scholarly conversation.
So I'll leave you with this thought. The next time you sit down to write, what are you going to see that paper as? Is it just another assignment, another hurdle to get over? Or is it your chance? Is it your first real step toward becoming a part of the conversation in your field? Because now you have the tools to make that choice.